This is the Commodities and Recycling Report brought to you by Ben Lee, the industry leader in roll-off trailers and open-top scrap gondola trailers, as well as Raleigh and Goldsboro Metal Recycling, the leaders in North Carolina for scrap metal, cardboard, electronics, and junk cars. Today is Monday, September 21st, 2015. My name is Greg Brown, President and CEO of the Companies. Last week was yet another week of tough news in the industry. U.S. steel production came down a bit in the last reporting week, but remains well below last year's level. Capacity utilization of U.S. steel mills is running at less than 73% and is below the 77% of earlier in the year. Last year's utilization rate was about 80%. Part of this year's reduction is due to the imports of steel finished goods are now running at about 30% of total versus last year's 27%. The U.S. oil rig count was down yet again and still remains about half of what it was a year ago. Oil remains at a level that's so low it makes it tough to justify new drilling, so demand for new steel used in these rigs remains severely depressed. Steel prices remain well below last year's level, which is easy to understand based on the above. With U.S. demolition and other manufacturing continue to generate significant scrap and global scrap demand being low, scrap steel could decline yet again next month. Copper prices declined last week after a nice run-up in the past 2 weeks, which was a reaction to the second and third largest copper miners in the world announcing production cutbacks. This 5-year chart of copper shows pricing is really tough. Copper inventories around the world have come down a bit in recent weeks, but they are about double what they were a year ago, meaning there is no reason to see copper prices will be going up anytime soon. Aluminum prices were steady last week when looking at this 60-day chart. Aluminum, though, when you look at a 5-year chart, really remains near its 6+ year low. Last week, Steel Dynamics, which owns OmniSource, and Nucor Steel, which has scrapyards, gave earnings updates for their July through September period. As many know, they are the second and third largest metal recyclers in the United States. The announcements were not pretty at all. Steel Dynamics said OmniSource's financial results are expected to decline meaningfully, with non-ferrous margins being the key reason. Nucor said there would be decreased performance in their recycling business and said the continued decline in scrap prices was the reason. Ben Lee had its first annual safety and operations meeting with customers last week. It was great to see a number of customers and friends. My thanks to the Ben Lee team for putting it together. On an industry positive note, the National Insurance Crime Bureau came out with their annual copper theft report last week. It showed yet another year of copper theft reduction in the United States. The report also says a statistically positive correlation existed between metal prices and the number of metal theft claims. Pretty simple. Copper theft down is because prices are down. For current prices, please call us in Raleigh at 919-828-5426 and Goldsboro 731-5600. With that, we hope all have a safe and profitable week. Tune in next week for the Commodities and Recycling Report. My name is Greg Brown. Have a great week.